I am going on a trip in 2 weeks. Very last minute, I know, but this is going to be pertinent later. I'm going on a 2-week trip to the UK where I'm going to go see my family, and we're going to go camping, we're going to go to the cliffs of Dover, and then I'm going to finish off the trip by backpacking to Dublin and then to Belfast and then to the Giant's Causeway. I think that's a very reasonable selection of things to do during a 2-week holiday. And of course, in the meantime, I'm also going to be seeing my friends in London. So this is where we get to the topic of today's video, which is what I'm going to pack and take with me. Because, well, I am allergic to purchasing luggage and having a suitcase. So I will be traveling with my backpack and only my backpack. So I am now on a 2-week crunch to get a travel wardrobe sorted that is minimal enough to be able to fit 2 weeks of clothing into a backpack, and also, well, nice enough for me to feel okay going on holiday and taking pictures and going out onto the town in said clothing. Okay, so welcome to my corridor. I've got my list of things that I will be purchasing, and I'm hoping at least that I'll be able to find most of these. So I'm looking for thin cotton for 1890s and then 1920s combinations. I'm looking for a lining for my folk gorset, potentially glazed cotton if I can find it, but I'm quite aware that that is quite an impossible ask, not only in general but also in small town Poland, so we'll see how I can go with that. Maybe I can find something to replace it. I will be making a overall style 1920s dress, skirt, pinafore, item of clothing. So I will be looking for some thick black cotton, potentially a calico. I do quite like the more rustic feel of the calico. I need about a meter of cotton for a blouse. It's just a 1920s coloured blouse because I quite like coloured blouses. And if I can find it at a relatively normal price, I'll be also looking for 2 meters of natural linen to make another folk shirt. So unfortunately, it is very difficult to find fabric stores in my town, which is very ironic because back in the Polish People's Republic, this region of Poland had quite a few factories that worked on producing very well-made fabrics. And unfortunately in the 90s, all of these factories closed down. And now I believe there's like only 1 or 2, like very, very few actual fabric stores in this town, and one of them is a 30-minute walk away from my neighborhood. So this is the walk that I'm currently undertaking through the train tracks and, well, allotments. Welcome to my face of pure despair. Things are worse than I was expecting. Like, I show up today and there is no oh my god, not me laying on pins. There is no fabric currently on sale in one of the literally 3 fabric shops in my town. Well, this is the biggest one. There is no natural fibers. Like, even cotton is only available mixed with lycra or polyester because, oh, it'll be nicer to wear because it'll be elastic. Not true. It's going to be sweaty as hell because it's going to have plastic in it, and I will feel the plastic and I will suffer. I managed to buy cotton batiste, which for once at least is 100% cotton. Bloody hope so. I'm gonna in a second do a burn test because I have no more faith in humanity. This woman tried to sell me cotton lycra blend, claiming that it's 100% cotton, and I'm just looking at her like, this is stretchy. What do you want from me? Like, I am not buying stretchy fabric. She's like, why not? It's gonna be more comfortable. No. Anyway, this is turning out to be a much more ranty video than I was expecting when I was thinking about a chill fabric vlog, but here we are. I also got, again, a bloody blend, but it's not that bad because it's for a skirt. It is, it's called sztruks in Polish. I don't remember. Corduroy. It is a cotton nylon blend. But yeah, I'm now having a deep existential crisis about how capitalism is ruining everything, because are you absolutely kidding me? Right now, just doesn't matter the quality of the fabric, doesn't matter the fiber content. All that matters is that it's cheaper to produce and quick to produce. And I guess the response to that is to just add more and more plastic into the fabric, and I am distressed. This is the fashion plate that I'm going to be basing my design off of. It is a French fashion plate for what I'm guessing is some sort of house apron. It has these pockets, which I don't remember the name of right now, but my coworker very kindly taught me how to make it. If my voice sounds extremely funky, or rather funkier than usual, I have since gotten COVID. In the year of our Lord 2024, how very sad. For the pattern, I'm kind of winging it. I did some research online where I looked at some existent patterns and the patterns that other people have created for the same time period and style of skirt, and extrapolating those pattern shapes, I am drafting my own. My very professional method of using old packing paper that I've had in my collection for like, I don't even know, 4 years at least, is very much a conscious choice for a more ethical style of consumption, and definitely not me just not being bothered to buy pattern paper. I am cutting my pattern out, first from the cotton batiste and then from the corduroy. I am doing that essentially to have the cotton batiste be a sort of lining for the corduroy skirt, because I don't think I need to repeat myself any more times, but I hate the feel of synthetic fabrics, so that nylon blend is not touching my skin if I can help it. I know that batiste is probably not the best idea for a lining because it is cotton, so it won't really help with the slip. However, I'm prioritizing comfort in this situation and not practicality, I guess. It's 9 p.m, which is usually not an issue to craft and everything else. However, it is 35 degrees in Poland. I will not be taking questions at this time. I'm not okay. So I think I'll be stopping for tonight. Also, I think now that I've gotten the main seams done, the main priority is to secure said seams and make sure there are no raw edges, because look at this. I am covered in thread, and so is my floor. For the top, I had no real pattern and also no real plan. I just kind of looked at the fashion plate I'm trying to, well, be inspired by. Took a cut-off piece of the corduroy that I just found that was relatively the correct size, and kind of drew a trapezoid shape, trapezium. I don't know my shapes. You can see the shape there. I cut out 2 again. I sewed it this time in a more modern way, where I just attached the 2 together and then flipped the sewed 2 pieces inside out. So the seams are on the inside and so are the raw edges, and I can just that way attach the top bit to the skirt portion, making some sort of dungaree adjacent creation. To cover the raw edges on the inner side of the waistband, I just used the same cotton batiste, cut out into a rectangle with the edges ironed down inside, and then whip stitched it down to, well, hide all those raw edges that I just mentioned. For the fastenings, it's not very difficult really to decide on the fastenings because, well, all I have to really do is fasten the skirt. The top portion doesn't really require it. So I chose a good old hook and eye,
a method where I attach the hooks and the eyes. There's not much more I can really say, it's just sewing on hooks and eyes, isn't it? So my favorite part of making clothing and making skirts in general is the hemming. Here I turned the hem down about 3 centimeters with the raw edge tucked underneath, and I'm whip stitching it down. I'm also getting attacked by bugs. It is late July in Poland, and even on the 10th floor of my block of flats, I still get harassed by flying bugs of questionable origin. I love hemming because it's a very nice, calm, repetitive motion that I can pretty much do without thinking about, and it's the closest to mindfulness that I will ever get. Because the fabric is quite a thick and relatively stiff fabric, it does not hold its shape particularly well when I iron it, at least not to the extent that I would like it to on the hemline. So I did do a very thin stitch on the machine, literally about 3 or 4 millimeters away from the edge of the fabric, just to really hold that crisp hemline in place. If you were to ask me, Marcelina, where are those pockets you mentioned earlier? I'll get there eventually. Thanks to the COVID, I actually ran out of time before I was due to go on holiday, and therefore couldn't actually finish putting in the pockets. Therefore, I'll simply put them in at a later date when I come back home on holiday, but for now I still have at least a relatively functional dress, so it is what it is.